Mr. Jim joined the server. My name is Stephen Anthony Sear III, or at least that's what I used to be called. I moved to another state and changed my name. The current year is 2034. I can't believe it's already been 10 years. I left everything behind. I had to. I'm writing this because I wish to recall the events of my past. It all started and changed the world. It was like any other night. The voice chat was humming with emotions as we queued for another match. We had been playing Counter-Strike 2 for hours and it was approaching midnight. I should really go to bed, guys, I spoke with a hint of sadness. I have school in the morning and it's already midnight. Come on, Stevie, just one more game, Dylan replied. He had always been a night owl, and with that, been the cause for me having many drowsy days at school. The voice chat had 4 people in it. Me, Dylan, Caleb, and Christian. Alright, fine. One more, but after that I'm done, and I want to pick the maps, I stated, sternly. I had been really enjoying Overpass, so I decided to queue for just that. Dylan didn't approve, but decided it was better than not playing at all. The queue took an unusual amount of time. The usual time it takes to get into a game is roughly 5 minutes or less, but this was taking an abnormally long time. It got to 10 minutes, and we were growing impatient. Caleb told me to switch the map, and I was right about to do so, but right when I moved my cursor onto the cancel matchmaking button, it finally put us into a lobby. Weird, I thought, but I brushed it off as a coincidence. We loaded onto the map and proceeded with the warm-up. Eventually, when the game was starting, we looked at who our random was. We always had the worst luck with randoms on our team, and we expected nothing different this time. It was a user by the name of Mr. Jim. "What's up, Mr. Jim?" Dylan said in the in-game voice chat. There was no response. "Mr. Jim?" I asked, confused. He didn't even move his character. The countdown was up and the round started, but he was AFK. "Always with these randoms, dude," Christian complained. "Every time it's some new retard that doesn't know how to play the game." We all laughed as Christian said this, and we noticed he had also said it in the game chat. But during our laughter, we all noticed Mr. Jim's microphone light up. "I am not a retard," he said surprisingly softly. The voice chat fell silent. Caleb, after a few seconds, broke the silence. "If you're not a retard, then why are you not moving? Seems retarded to me." Caleb seemed to be trying to rile him up, in typical CDW fashion. Mr. Jim did not respond, but he started moving. He was the last one alive in the round we were on, and it was a 1v5. But, to the surprise of everybody in the game, Mr. Jim B-hopped around the map and headshot all the enemies with his pistol. The entire voice channel went wild in applause. "You've got to be hacking, right?" Dylan asked. Mr. Jim immediately responded in his soft, monotone voice. "I am a weapon. I am my enemy's worst nightmare. And you are my new enemies." I let out a confused laugh and spoke to Dylan. "Should we invite this guy to change the world? He's hilarious," I asked, wanting to witness more of this anomaly of a random. "I agree. I'll send him an invite," Dylan replied. He sent the invite link, and we very quickly got a notification. Mr. Jim joined the server. "That was fast," Christian spoke as everyone got the notification. "I'm gonna try to get him into the voice chat." But before he could even text him, Mr. Jim joined the channel. All we heard was the sound of breathing. Dude, are you okay?" Caleb asked, but Mr. Jim did not respond. A few short seconds later, we got a flood of Discord notifications. We looked in general chat and saw that Mr. Jim had posted all of our IP addresses, full names, and home addresses. "Alright, this guy's crazy, I'm banning him." Dylan started quickly, but found that he couldn't do anything. He had lost his administrative privileges along with everyone else. "You just made the worst mistake of your life," Mr. Jim stated calmly, and then left the voice channel. "What the hell was that?" I asked, shocked. "Whatever, it's just some stupid hacker that thinks he's cool. We can just contact Discord support and try to get this guy banned." "What about the fact that he has our names and addresses?" Dylan asked. "It's not like this guy is actually going to come find us and do anything," I stated, hoping that I was right. Anyways, that was really weird, and I still have school in the morning, so I'm gonna... I was interrupted by the sound of knocking coming from Christian's microphone. Hello? Christian asked out loud. Guys, I think there's someone out. He seemed to be interrupted as we heard a snap come from his microphone, followed by the sound of loud thumping, almost as if someone was jumping in his room. The sound got quieter after a few seconds, and then it was gone. Alright, dude, this is not funny at all, Caleb stated angrily. I'm done with this crap. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Caleb left the voice call, and it was just Dylan and I. If this is some prank, it's seriously not funny, Dylan told me, as if I had anything to do with it. After a minute of pointless arguing, Caleb joined the call. He was silent, but he turned his camera on. He's in my room. He's just jumping up and down. I don't know how he's moving so fast. It's not human. It can't be, Caleb said hurriedly. His camera showed him sitting there, with a shocked expression, with what could only be described as a tall white man wearing a name tag that says Mr. Jim, jumping up and down at inhuman speeds. In a split second, Mr. Jim ran to Caleb and opened his mouth wide and decapitated him in a split second. Mr. Jim looked up at the camera and with a bloody smile gave a big thumbs up, and he b-hopped away. I gotta get out of here, Dylan yelled. His roommate Edwin was behind him and asked what he was talking about. Edwin never spoke to Dylan, but he seemed concerned. I don't have time to talk to you. I need to leave, Dylan explained to him. Dylan grabbed his Twilight Sparkle plush and ran out of the door. I watched as the door slowly closed behind him on the camera, and Edwin seemed to brush it off and return to what he was doing. But not long before, one of the windows in his dorm shattered, and Mr. Jim bit Edwin in half. Mr. Jim b-hopped after Dylan, and I heard screaming from his hallway. This can't be happening. I must find a way to survive this, I said to myself as I ran out of my room and got into my car. I drove down the street as fast as possible and made it onto I-10 East. Lights blurred past me as I was well above the speed limit. After a few minutes, I noticed something behind me. It was Mr. Jim. He was bee-hopping at insane speeds and catching up to my car. I heard a deafeningly loud voice seeming to somehow come from him.
Who is the retard now? Who is the retard now? Who is the retard now?
He screamed. His distorted voice shook the ground. He grew closer and closer. He was matching my exact speed. I had an idea, but I knew it could kill me. I had to try. I let Mr. Jim get even closer, and I slammed my brakes, flipping the car. Mr. Jim slammed into the back of my vehicle, and all I could see was blood. That was the last thing I remembered that night. I woke up in a hospital bed and asked what was going on. They told me that I was in critical condition and needed to stay there. I could still walk, but everything was painful. I recalled what had just happened and burst into tears as I saw my phone light up with a Discord notification. It was Mr. Jim. I am inside, he texted. I punched the nearest doctor in the face and ran out of the room. I ran as fast as I could out of the hospital and broke into someone's vehicle. It was all a blur, but I ended up making it to another state. It all comes back in flashes, but I can't remember everything. All I know is everything started to get better once I changed my name. I bought a house and got a nice job. It had been 10 years since then, and I've never felt better. I think this name really suits me, and it looks really nice on my name tag. My new job as a professional high jumper is going great, and they say I can make the Olympics easily with my newfound jumping skills. I still get on Counter-Strike sometimes, but these kids nowadays always try to get on my nerves with this name calling. One of these days I'm going to do something about it.